And now let's bring up our next guest. She's another terrifically talented performer, and she's well known in basements across the country for her tremendous work with characters, creating some real wild ones that we're going to talk about. She's on the Maud team down there at UCB. She's been featured at Just for Laughs in Montreal, and a lot of other great stuff. Let's bring her up. Amber Nelson, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey!
There you go. It takes a while to get to the back of the stadium.
Nice. What's up?
Just have to adjust.
I love it. I love this suit. You pulled off a dead racist man. He's dead.
$13 is all
really?
It costs. Yeah.
Oh, that's
the whole
good.
thing.
Really?
Yeah.
So the tie included?
Tie included.
Gosh.
I buy it as a package. When I go big. So now, Amber, how are things going for you?
Things are good.
Yeah.
I just found a bodega by my house that sells $8 cigarettes. So
Pretty
I
good
know.
day.
That's great. That's like half the price. I'm just gonna die of lung cancer, you know? Yay!
Yeah, that's right. Clap it up for that. An early death is always welcome.
Yeah,
some
yeah.
days it is.
Sometimes it's
we
gonna be a
feel
little
that
more
way.
horrible, and you'll all wish it.
Now, Amber, I gather that you grew up in a lot of different places because your mother was a union organizer with the teachers there.
How did you know that?
Getting some problems, getting run out of town, which I've had a little experience with myself. But I was just down there in a place you spent a lot of time, which was down there in Louisiana.
Oh, beautiful
in
place.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
That's quite a.
I'm surprised you remember. I'm surprised you remember going down there.
A lot of people don't. And I hope some people don't remember that I was there. But it's a very slow-moving city, isn't it?
Yeah, people just take their time. They just go and get a drink and kind of take a stroll. And I know people that work there that have like legit jobs, and they're like, I should have been at work 30 minutes ago. And you're like, you go to work, and they're like, fuck, I just walk and fucking my life. Who cares?
Right, you're on their schedule.
Yeah.
Very much there. They call it the Big Easy, but that's ironic because nothing is easy there. Absolutely nothing gets done in a way that's, civil.
Nothing gets
or
done.
efficient.
Yeah, that's why there's a lot of murders. There's a lot of people just shot, and
That they are good at.
Do we call the cops, or do we just stand around and look at it?
But those are some formative years for you down there. Is that right? You were there high school or something?
High school and college, yeah.
So you were steeped in it.
Steeped, love it.
And you were doing theater and that kind of stuff at that point?
I was doing theater and improv. I was doing short form improv. I was in a group called Nut Punch. No big deal.
That's pretty
Sign
good.
autographs after the show. Yeah, I was in a group called
You got some Nut Punch fans here tonight. Probably. They follow you everywhere, don't they?
Nut punch!
Nut Punch.
Fuck
yeah, into
that
it.
what they used to chant down
We
there.
were doing it. We were actually warming up in an alley behind a bar one time.
Yeah.
And these street punks, they were like, "What are you doing? This is our alley." And we were like, "We're a short form improv team, Nut Punch." And
Did you rumble? Was it a
they
rumble?
well, they didn't kill us because they knew we'd have a worse death on stage. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I thought they were going to do like what everybody wants to do, and that's murder a short form improv team. You know what I mean? Just fucking take us out.
That is the dream.
Funniest dead bodies.
But now, have you ever watched this program? And I think Leslie would be good. I think all comics would be good on this program. Naked and Afraid. Have you seen that show?
I've seen like previews of it. It looks really terrible.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. They drop these two people and they give them a necklace and a bag that's got, I think, a battery pack or something, one item, and it'll be a fire starter or a knife or something.
Oh.
But they had an episode that took place in the swamps of Louisiana.
Really? That's pretty bad.
It was the most terrifying hour of television I've ever watched, aside from the fourth hour of the Today Show. It was terrifically scary, and you're just watching on pins and needles the whole time.
It's pretty bad. I mean, my thing is, like, do they have to put the afraid in there? Like, you're already naked. You know?
It's implied.
You're pretty scared. Yeah, swamps are pretty bad. I fell off of a pirogue once, which is like a small canoe in the Louisiana swamps, and I thought that I was going to be eaten.
That was it.
Yeah. But you can't scream.
No, not in the swamps.
Not in the swamps. You can't scream.
Swamp code.
Predators will come and find you, and you're gonna get noshed on, and your body won't get found for like another week. Because the alligators, they like to roll you around and
That's how they
hide
do
you
it.
under a fucking tree to marinate you. Isn't that funny? That's in my type 5.
You ever spear anything with a stick?
Spear anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've speared like some fish. Well, not really
Yeah.
spear, but like I used to have like a lake behind me, and I could just like catch them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have a lake behind you.
It is nice.
That's ideal.
Yeah.
Now, as I understand it, your mother was a Tennessee Williams character?
She was
Yeah.
very much a very bawdy, wonderful, beautiful woman. Well, I
Yeah.
say was. She is. She's still alive.
Oh, that's good. That's
She's
good.
living.
Yeah. Is she less bawdy now? No.
No, she's full on body.
Full on.
Full on. We were at a hamburger restaurant and in the middle of nowhere, and this girl behind us, because my mom likes to perform and sing and stuff, and this girl behind us was like, "I'm thinking about doing American Idol. I want to audition." And my mom like turned around and was like, "Oh yeah, well just get up and sing for the restaurant. Just get up and sing right now for everybody." She didn't know her. And the girl was like, "It's a hamburger place, and it's not a stage, and I'm kind of scared, and I don't know." And then my mom was like, "Then you'll never make it." Well, she's right, you know.
No, absolutely. You
Yeah,
gotta have it.
Saved her from blowing all the dicks, you know.
Which is a common phrase down there. Yeah. And did you perform together?
We used to. She would just roll up in a nursing home back when I was like early high school kid times, and she would just roll up and start playing the piano, much like yourself.
Leslie, you
and
could do it.
sing.
Like now?
We just had like a tiny Schroeder piano. Yeah, she just, you know, I don't think she'll be famous anytime soon because she's still hanging out in Louisiana, but she really touched a lot of people's lives. They would roll into that room and just have a ball, and she never treated them like they were old or they were feeble or their mind was gone. She's very like with them,
Yeah.
and they respected her for that and really just made them hang on for a little bit longer. It's pretty great.
And your role would be doing what? Tap dancing or something?
I would do the serious songs. She would tell me as a kid.
That's good.
She said, "Amber, I am the funny one and you are the dramatic one. So I want you to go on after I do my jokes about..." She had this whole bit on Gone with the Wind, and she would get the two oldest people in there, the woman, and she put a petticoat around him, and a man, like an old feeble man, put a top hat on him, and get them to do the scene. I don't know if you've seen the movie, but like the one where he picks her up to go have sex with her. Have you seen the movie? It's a fantastic movie. You gotta watch it. But the whole bit of it is they're just so old they can't pick each other up. And then I would come on and sing at last.
That's what the next show. I'm going to do that show here next. That's amazing. Wow. What do you? She sounded like she was a lot of drama though to
Yeah.
deal with, and I've had some relationships like that where I used to think I needed to seek out that drama.
Yeah.
But do you find yourself seeking out drama in your own relationships?
Yeah, I mean, I do comedy, so I definitely seek out drama.
Yes.
I think as far as relationships go, I've had a boyfriend for many years, and he's very sweet. We have a very
Low key.
low-key relationship. We just make food and then sit on the couch and watch Gone Girl or something, you know.
Yep, that's what you do.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Sounds hilarious. And of course, you're well known for these character things and making characters. I don't know a thing about it. I don't know a thing about how you create this kind of stuff, so I want to get into it. But yeah, the other day, you know, it gets to be this time of the year around the office, and they have a little ceramic haunted house thing that they set up, a candy dish on the front desk. And for those of us with impulse control, it's a tough time of year. And so I usually place my order for some Vietnamese noodles on Seamless, and I head to the crapper, I wash my hands, I come back, and I get a Reese's peanut butter cup from the candy dish and go back to my desk and wait for the food to arrive. And while I was doing that, I was watching your video, and you had a video there of a gal named Patty, speaking of cats, And she was auditioning to go to Mars, was the conceit, and a cat kept jumping on her, and she would shriek, a real great shriek, and it made me laugh so hard I was almost going to lose one of those peanut butter cups out of the nostril. It was so great. You ever think about going into space?
Love it. I would love it. My brother has actually been to space.
No.
Yeah, on Facebook. I don't know if it's legit.
That's not the same.
But he's been to space twice,
What?
and his profile thing on Facebook or like a life event says the first homosexual in space.
Is that true?
Yeah, or the first like out of the closet man in space, and he's
no,
just like
because some of those early guys.
Yeah, you can't get out of the closet
Definitely.
in the 1960s.
No,
way.
definitely. Houston, we have a problem there. It did make you think about the personalities you got to be with, though, in a capsule or something.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be with Patty necessarily.
No,
but that's, you understand that kind of space, the way that lady went kind of nuts. When she drove around in space underwear in Florida, pining for the guy, and she was driving, and I don't know, maybe she had a knife or something. Space madness is what I'm talking about. And I think that's my biggest concern with going into space would be space madness. But on the flip side, what about inner space? Have you given that any thought, to shrinking yourself down and then going inside the body?
Oh, like that movie? Like that old movie?
Yeah, inner space.
Yeah, I mean, my body's like pretty corrupt. You go in there and be like, oh no, let's get out of here. Is that like an entire Cheeto just floating in my lungs? We gotta go.
Made a bad turn somewhere.
Yeah.
In the wrong neighborhood. Yeah, I don't think I'd like that very much, surfing on platelets and that kind of a thing.
Is that what it's called? Interspace?
Inner space.
Inner space. Alright.
It's a good movie.
Cool.
Great movie. Great movie. Not a great way to live. But, yeah, we'll list a bunch of movie
That's good.
when we post the episode.
That's good.
We'll do that.
Do they like go down to the kidneys and get flushed out in the urine?
Yeah, I don't remember how they get out of the thing. That's what makes the movie so great. It's definitely...
Well, they kiss each other to get into each other.
Uh-huh.
That's how they, and then, but I forget how they get out, but that's how
That's-
it's.
They
Oh,
sneeze.
the sneeze, yeah.
Oh, the sneeze.
They got to get
That's
back up there.
better than like going out of like a turd hole.
Yeah,
Or
it's
a
tough.
pee hole
Or
or
a pee
something.
hole, yeah.
Any holes.
Any
Any
holes
holes down there is bad.
would be difficult.
Yeah.
But where do you start with the character? Do you start with, I don't know, the physicality of the thing?
I'll tell you what
or
I
do you
do.
start with the voice of the thing? Or do you imagine what that character might look like? Again, I know nothing about it.
Nothing about characters?
Nothing about characters.
Oh, damn. I think you do. I really just stand in the middle of my room. I stand in the middle of my room like a maniac and then
Yeah.
just sort of like improvise a bunch and then like put on some sort of outfit because I have like very minimal actual clothes. I have like a black t-shirt and a white t-shirt, a couple pairs of pants, and that's it. And they're just on the floor. But like my character stuff is like all this hung up like fur coats, and sometimes I'll see a piece and I'm like, oh, I'll write something around that later. Let me get this weird plastic tiara. And I just kind of like put a bunch of shit on. And then I like improvise and no one's around and I'm like, oh, that made me laugh. What's that thought? And I'll follow with it and just kind of cut it down. Not interesting, but
Then do you ever take those characters into other things? I mean, like Patty, you do her once and then it's done? Or do you bring her back?
sometimes you can bring it back, and sometimes it's also fun. This is going to sound crazy, but I have a character that's like a little girl that I improvised in my room. And the little girl got abandoned by her parents because she never says why, but it's because she's just so fucking crazy and loud and horrible. And does impressions of her parents, and it's like her do an impression of her dad. He's like, "You're a weird child. I don't know how to talk to you," you know. And and it's super funny. And and then like the residue of that will leak into another character. So then I can like on stage I'll like put on a jacket and a beard and just kind of, and then that kind of leaks into like maybe that kid is also doing this character, and what does that mean? You know, there's always like some sort of residue into the last thing you did into the next thing. Does that make sense?
I got it.
Yeah.
So it's in some way cumulative. It always informs as you
Always
move
informs, yeah. And that way you can do a bunch of them. Like say you have like many characters, then just
Yeah.
kind of like combine them in like a gumbo back to Louisiana and do it.
It's fantastic. Well, do you have some shows coming up?
Yeah, I can't remember. I am doing New York Comedy Fest. So
Hey,
she
that's
was made a
terrific.
show.
That's terrific.
Yeah. I think it's on the 6th.
Okay.
I think it's at UCB though, which is a competing theater. So I'm telling you.
That's we're all friends here. That's fine.
But yeah,
I
that's
think
fun.
of the 100 people, there's probably 50 UCB, 50 Pitt.
But this is a great theater as well, of course, because we're all here.
We all had a great time.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, and we can find out. And you're great on Twitter too. We'll follow you on there.
I'm great on Amber Smelson
That's it.
instead of Amber Nelson because it's a joke.
I love it. Well, Amber, thank you for being here. Amber Nelson, everybody. Wonderful. Thank you.